A function f is increasing on an interval when for any two numbers, x1 and x2 in the interval, x1 is less than x2, and that just means that if you have to read your x's left to right. That implies the first function value is less than the second function value. Let's go to the bottom of the screen. What that means is if I take an x1 and an x2, that's two separate x values, and I calculate f of x1 and I calculate f of x2, f of x1 is smaller than f of x2. Visually, you can tell if a function's increasing. It's positively sloped. Back to the top, a function f is decreasing on an interval when for any two numbers x1 and x2 in the interval. Again, this point is left of that point as far as x coordinates, but that implies that the function value at the first x is greater than the function value at the second x. Back down to the graph, maybe I pick here as x1, there as x2. x1 is left of x2, but my function value at x1 is larger than my function value at x2, meaning a decreasing or negatively sloped graph. And if a function is constant, then I get the same function value for any x in the interval. Any function that is decreasing, because remember, derivative is the rate of change of a function or the slope of a function's graph, f prime will be negative for decreasing, f prime will be 0 for constant, and f prime will be positive for increasing. Let's look at theorem 4.5. This is testing for increasing and decreasing functions. Let f be a function that's continuous on the closed interval a to b and differentiable on the open interval ab. Number one, if f prime of x is positive for all x in the interval, then the function is increasing on the interval. If your first derivative is negative for all the x's in an interval, then your function is decreasing on that interval. And finally, if your derivative is 0 for all the x's in the interval, then f is constant on that interval. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me scroll back down. All right, this graph, for the first one, that's this part. A positive derivative implies increasing. Number two, a negative derivative implies decreasing. It means decreasing. Number three, a derivative equal to 0, that's horizontal tangent line, and that just means constant. Let's look at the guidelines for finding intervals on which a function is increasing or decreasing. Let f be continuous on the interval a to b. To find the open intervals on which f is increasing or decreasing, use the following steps. Locate the critical numbers of your function in the interval. That's where your first derivative is either 0 or undefined, and use these numbers to determine test intervals. Part 2, determine the sign of your derivative at one test value in each interval. And then number 3, we'll use theorem 4.5, which you can find at the top of the screen, to determine whether we have increasing or decreasing on each interval. Let's do some examples. Find the open intervals on which the function x squared minus 4x minus 5 is increasing or decreasing. First thing you do is take your first derivative and identify your critical numbers. Our first derivative is 2x minus 4. That's 0 whenever x is 2. If you look at the graph to the right of your screen, when x is 2, you are at a valley floor. That is a horizontal tangent line. That's a critical number. Mark it on a number line with CN. Now, We have intervals less than 2 and greater than 2 to investigate. Pick a friendly test number that's less than 2, mark it with a T. Pick another test number that's friendly. And when I say friendly, I just mean easy to sub into the derivative. This is a simple derivative, so any number is fairly friendly. But we need to pick something left of 2 and right of 2 and test them both. This blue ink, I'm testing 0. This 0 represents all x's less than 2, which is your critical number. Make it a friendly number. 2 times 0 minus 4. F prime of 0 is negative. That means, look at the graph, your function is decreasing from negative infinity to 2, which is your critical number. The orange ink, we're testing the interval greater than 2. I picked 5. 2 times 5 minus 4, that's positive. And all that means is the interval greater than 2, our function is increasing. So we're increasing from the critical number to positive infinity. And we're decreasing from negative infinity up to our critical number. The critical number is where your intervals will change over. Sorry, some of this is going to bleed into the others. Find the open intervals on which function f of x equals x cubed minus 3/2 x squared is increasing or decreasing. First thing we do, find your first derivative. Our first derivative for this function will be 3x squared minus 3x. If you factor out a 3x, you get 3x times x minus 1 equals 0. We have two critical numbers. 3x is 0 when x is 0. X minus 1 is 0 when x is 1. If you look at your graph, we have a little hilltop at 0 and a little valley at 1. Mark those two numbers and put a C in on them for critical number. Pick a number left of your first critical number. That's an orange. I just randomly picked a -1. F prime, make sure it's your derivative, of -1 is positive. And I sub -1 in for the x's. You really don't need the numerical value, you just need to know if it's positive or negative. Since our first derivative in this interval is positive, we can tell that the graph is increasing until we get to the critical number 0. Between the hill and the valley, we pick a test number. I picked a half, you can pick any number. Sub it into your first derivative. F prime of 1/2 calculates to a negative. That just says between 0 and 1, my graph is decreasing. And then finally, after the second critical number, I picked 2 to test this interval. F prime of 2 gave me a positive answer. And you guys helped me out in class by helping me with the calculator. Since that's positive, this interval is increasing. So the graphs are nice. You don't always have a graph. This colored ink over here, this is how you would work it if you didn't have a graph. But I like to provide a graph when I can so that your visuals match your calculus. We have two intervals of increasing from negative infinity to 0. X's from negative infinity to 0. Then we decrease between 0 and 1. And then we go back to increasing 1 to infinity. If you have more than one interval fitting a description, you can use a union symbol to unite both of those intervals to show that in either or, those values of x will be on a part of a graph that's increasing. Any value of x between 0 and 1 will be on a part of the graph that's decreasing. Our last example, find the open intervals on which the function 3 plus sine x between 0 and 2 pi is increasing or decreasing. In the graph, now I went farther than 0 to 2 pi just so that we weren't sort of crunched on what we could see. In your graphing calculators, if you put in 3 plus sine x and hit zoom 7, that's a trig setting. Zoom 6 restores your graphing calculator to a 10 by 10 window. Zoom 7 puts it in a trig setting. Each tick mark is a 90-degree interval. I've marked them with radians. If your calculator's in degree mode, these will be in degrees: 0, 90, 180, 270, and back to 360. Let's get back to the problem. Take your first derivative. The derivative of 3 plus sine x is cosine x. Cosine x is 0 whenever x is pi over 2 or 3 pi over 2. On your unit circle at 90 and 270, your x coordinate is 0, so your cosine value at these two angles is 0. Note the graph, we have a hilltop at pi over 2, and we have a valley at 3 pi over 2. That just shows us visually that those are the right critical numbers. Mark your number line at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2 with CN so that you know not to use them, but those are where your intervals will be tested. Between 0 and pi over 2, I picked pi over 4. Cosine of pi over 4 is positive. In fact, it's square root of 2 over 2. If you need an exact answer, that tells us from 0 to pi over 2, our graph is increasing. That's the orange here. Testing between the critical numbers, between 90 and 270, one of you guys gave me pi. Cosine of pi is -1. All we need to know is that it's negative. So between our critical numbers, we know that the function is decreasing. And then finally, because we have to end at 2 pi, between 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi, you guys gave me 5 pi over 3. That's perfect. The derivative at 5 pi over 3, cosine of pi over 3, is positive half. All we need to know is that it's positive. So we have two intervals of increasing, one interval of decreasing. We're decreasing between the critical numbers, pi over 2 to 3 pi over 2. We're increasing from 0 to pi over 2, also 3 pi over 2 to 2 pi.